It's wild how something as simple as generating Word docs from Excel data used to eat up hours of my week. Now, with all these automation tools popping up, it's like a whole new world for productivity.
I totally hear you. The demand for personalized documents, whether it's contracts, reports, or catalogs, just keeps growing. Automation isn't just a time saver anymore. It's almost a necessity for small businesses and even big organizations.
And that's probably why folks are still talking about mail merge, right? It's been a staple for decades. If you've got Office, you've probably used it for labels or letters at some point.
Absolutely. Though what's interesting now is how new tools like Sheet2Doc are shaking things up. They promise more flexibility, especially for people who need to do more than just basic letters. That actually leads right into comparing the two, doesn't it?
Exactly. So let's talk about what really separates Sheet2Doc from classic mail merge. At first glance, both turn Excel data into Word documents, but Sheet2Doc brings in all kinds of new tricks.
What surprised me most is Sheet2Doc's ability to handle images and complex data like nested lists or even JSON files. Mailmerge just can't do that out of the box. For basic text fields, sure, but images or repeating sections, you're out of luck.
Oh, that would have saved me so much hassle last year. I remember struggling to get product images into a catalog using Mailmerge. Had to resort to clunky macros, and it still took forever.
Exactly, and Sheet2Doc really simplifies things there. Plus, it lets you do things like conditional content, flexible file naming, and even preview results in real time before you generate. On the flip side, there's a bit of a learning curve since you have to pick up their placeholder syntax.
Yeah, learning something new always takes a little extra energy, but it sounds like the payoff is worth it for more complex tasks. That makes me wonder, how do they stack up when it comes to speed and performance? So, let's dig into performance. I've heard stories about Mailmerge slowing to a crawl with big data sets. How does Sheet2Doc handle that? Any horror stories on your end?
Funny you say that. Last month, a client tried to generate thousands of certificates and Mailmerge just choked. It was slow and ran into memory issues. Sheet2Doc, on the other hand, powered through the same task in minutes and handled images much better.
That's impressive. And what about security? Some folks are nervous about uploading sensitive data online.
Good point. Both tools can run locally. Sheet2Doc has an offline mode, and Mailmerge is right in Word. But you do have to watch out for Office's vulnerabilities, while Sheet2Doc's web version can be affected by browser security. I guess it comes down to what your IT team trusts more.
Makes sense. And thinking about costs, Sheet2Doc's basic version is free, but you'd pay for advanced features. Meanwhile, with Mailmerge, you're locked into that Office subscription, which can get pretty pricey over time.
Right, and that cost adds up for small teams. But honestly, the feature gap is becoming the bigger decider, especially for complex scenarios. Speaking of which, I've seen some cool real-world examples that really show where each tool shines.
Let's get concrete. When does it make sense to pick Sheet2Doc over Mailmerge or vice versa?
If you're dealing with simple letters or labels and you already use Office, sticking with Mailmerge is easy. But as soon as you need complex data, dynamic images, or you want cross-platform support, Sheet2Doc is just more flexible. Imagine generating hundreds of custom contracts or a product catalog with images. Sheet2Doc can handle all that without extra plugins.
And for folks already knee-deep in Office macros or who just need basic mailings, Mailmerge is probably less of a learning curve. I love that there's no one-size-fits-all answer here. It really depends on the project.
Totally agree, and the good news is, switching isn't impossible. Migrating templates from Mailmerge to Sheet2Doc mostly means updating placeholders and testing with your data a few tweaks, and you're off to the races.
That's encouraging, especially for teams who want to try something new without reinventing the wheel. I'm actually curious to see how Sheet2Doc keeps evolving, especially as more people look for smarter automation. Well, we've covered a lot. From the basics of Mailmerge to the advanced tricks Sheet2Doc offers, it's clear both have their place. The key is knowing your needs and being open to experimenting a bit.
Absolutely, and honestly, seeing these tools help real companies save hours and reduce errors is super motivating. I'm excited for the next wave of features, and I bet we'll see even more creative uses for document automation soon.
Couldn't agree more. For anyone listening, if you've got stories of your own struggles or successes with automating documents, let us know and keep an eye out for our next deep dive with hands-on Sheet2Doc use cases.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Until next time, happy automating!